Hi, my name is Marie Canus. I'm in Southern California. I am doing my project on the evolution of the genre of comedy, and I have titled it Laughter is the Best Medicine. Did you know that comedy is the oldest film genre? I would like to focus on how many comic films contain political and social commentary. Movies from the comedy genre began in the early 1900s as silent movies. Because of limited technology, early films were focused on visual humor, especially the slapstick style, which poked fun at physical mishaps. When sound was added, comedy films started to take their humor in new directions. During the height of the Depression, comedy became even more popular because it raised people's spirits. Screwball comedies were pleasing, reassured social values, and had a certain optimism about everyday life. In the 1930s, the Marx Brothers were revolutionary with comedy. They liked to target stuffy society women. This was a sign of the times of people questioning society. When the 40s rolled around, it was the middle of World War II. Hollywood became more serious and focused on themes related to conflict, and comedies portrayed more military themes. By the 50s, comedy films went into a decline. The big screen suffered with the emergence of affordable televisions. A trend began towards more adult social situations. Only Walt Disney continued to steadily release family comedies. Then, darker humor and more serious themes began to emerge, like Dr. Strangelove, a satire about the Cold War paranoia. It featured Peter Sellers, who later became famous as Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther films, once again poking fun of military and police. The 70s rolled around and Mel Brooks introduced Blazing Saddles, targeting criticism on racism, sexism, and traditional morals at every social group you could think of. The black comedy MASH reflected the anti war sentiment towards the Vietnam War. But probably one of the biggest successes of the 70s came with films from England, bringing down institution after institution with deadly accuracy in their Monty Python films. As the American people lost faith in the government and the church, the general public embraced a new style of absurd comedy that wasn't afraid to bite the hand that fed it, with movies that had a basic theme of slobs versus the snobs and attacked the upper crust of society. Which brings us to the 80s, where gag based comedies like Airplane paved the way for more of the same, as well as films like 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, all with authority and escaping reality as their basic themes. Absurd comedy still reigned in the 90s with Mike Myers, Jim Carrey, and Adam Sandler and their exaggerated characters, and which mimicked the exaggerated lifestyles of the people had of that time. An increasing use of gross out humor was aimed at the younger audience, became very popular. There was a revival in family comedies as well, as movies about family issues and dealing with different beliefs came about. In the mid 2000s, flamboyant characters were huge hits like Will Ferrell and more of Jim Carrey. Then in the late 2006, Borat was born, which blended vulgar humor with cultural satire. The reins were not as tight when it came to ratings anymore. They allowed children to view movies that were forbidden in earlier days. So, people wanting to escape their problems, comedies contained more drug related jokes now as well. Movie scripts offered more raunchier lines and actions than ever before. All the while, we're discovering that we can still laugh at topics we never thought possible in public. Comedies have definitely woven their way into the American hearts and cinematic culture like no other genre. Comedy is simply essential and could never go out of style. It allows people to laugh at situations they might normally cry at. It proves over and over that laughter is the best medicine for all the craziness in the world.